What's up, Rat Gang? Woohoo! Today I want to tell you about how I made my first smoke spot, and I'll try and describe how it looked. I don't have many photos of it because, well, at the time I wasn't much of a photo taker, and the photos that I did take, let's just say they wouldn't be of skate spots or smoke spots or anything. Don't ask me why. I guess I just wasn't as cool then. Main things that I would photograph back then were nothing really. I sent photos of my face a lot to people, except I wouldn't take photos of my face. I'd take a photo of my eye. I was one of those guys. Now I'm one of the ones that sends a quick full face picture. Although I don't really talk to many people, so that doesn't happen very often. Let's think. So, it's in the middle of the woods, right? There's a creek. I've told you a bit about this spot, so I want to really describe it to you. There was the woods, there was a creek, and there was a swamp. This was about 5 years ago now. About 5 years since I've last been there. Missed that place so much. It was my home, except I'll tell the reason why I had to stop going at the end, so I do apologize. You're gonna have to wait for the end. Let me grab my thing out real quick. Ooh, you're getting a bit of a shoulder reveal right now. I haven't really not had a jump around you guys. So, ooh, my jeans are going out of my belt. I've got jean shorts on and I'm gonna do a video later in the parking lot, and I'm nervous to reveal my calves to you guys. Let's just say, when I work out, I'm not working my legs. It's a bit of an issue, so one day I will fix that. Anyway, so it's in the woods. There's a creek. It's like a swamp. It has ponds at it, and then mud and clay and stuff. So I had the path that you go in there. It was about this wide. You'd go in, and then once you get in there, it's about maybe a 500-meter walk. There's just a big cleared out area, maybe as big as bigger than an apartment, maybe 2 apartment sizes, if that makes sense. And it had all ramps at it, dirt ramps for BMX, although I'll tell the reason, but it was also for mountain biking and dirt biking, except I didn't do mountain biking or dirt biking. I would have liked to pick it up, but my family were pretty broke. BMX we had to go in debt to get a BMX for me, so we got me a BMX and I did that. Anyway, so there was the skate park here, right? Pretty much a skate park. That's what I made it out as. And then over through a path. There was a path about this big that I made it. By the way, all the path was it was super smooth, really pretty. I blended it in with nature a little bit, so I put flowers around and it just looked really, really pretty. And then so there was a little path and it went off into, there was 5 trees. There was one here, one there, and 2 here, and they were big thick daddies. They're big thick daddies. They were big trees. They were really thick. They were redwood kind of, I would say. And I had a tire thrown because they a little bit that way, and a bunch of trucks would drive past and they would dump their tires in the woods, so I would just take the tires. And yeah, I built a tire throne that I could sit on. I built a tire bin that I could throw my rubbish in, and I built a boxing bag out of tires, which is pretty dope, you have to admit. Not many, because I would classify this as a smoke spot, not many smoke spots have a boxing bag in it. It promotes health, and it promotes smoking, which isn't good for your health, and it also promotes BMXing, which is technically good for your health because it's physicality, And then so we had that, and then we had crates that I stole from the local shops, and I made a couple different stools out of them. And then that was only the only seats in that spot. And then in the middle, I made a little fire pit that never got lit, and I was never planning on lighting it because I'm not going to start a bushfire. And then, yeah, you could sit around, have a smoke. It would look really nice. It did look very, very, very nice. It looked super pretty. It looked super in tune with nature. I wanted to throw like parties there and put all lights around and throw a little party one time, but never got around to that because of what I'll tell you at the end. Sorry, I just got to keep promoting that something's going to happen at the end so you guys stay. And then I built a path. It was like a windy path that went down a hill, and then it ended at the pond, and then it went all along the pond. And then I built a little bench to look out over the lake. And then you could also light one up there, but I would just go and sit there and look out at the water. There was fish in there. Pretty dope. I think there was a bit of turtles, maybe. There definitely had to be turtles in there. And then, yeah, so you just sit there, and then I would pee at a tree. I had a pee tree that I would specifically pee at. There was foxholes all around, so I had to be a bit careful not to fall into them. And then, what else was there? That was about it for the smoke spot. Not as detailed as I could go into, but the reason why it ended, alright? These kids kept coming, and they were dirt bikers. They were riding the ramps, but then they would try and make it their own. They wanted to alpha me. They didn't know who I was because we were never there at the same time. There was one time where I was going to do a stakeout, and I was going to meet them up, and my plan was to just beat them all up. But I never got around to that. I couldn't really be bothered to just sit there the whole day, so I didn't. And then, so they would go to the ramps, and they would take my shovel, and they would bash all the ramps with it, and they would break them all, and I would have to fix it every time that I came. And they would throw all my tires around, they would throw garbage around, they would throw anything they could around. They even threw my buckets around for the water. I had two massive, like, hard homeware. No, what are they called? Like, toolware places, how they have those big buckets for, like, construction. I had two of those to carry water around so I could make the ramps, because you gotta, like, make kind of a concrete. So I know technically how to make concrete out of nothing. And that's what I was doing. And it was so hard that you could skate across the floor, which was dope. But yeah, so that happens. This guy kept walking his dog in there once he discovered my path that went along. So I made a little park, kind of. And he kept letting his dog shit everywhere, which was really annoying because I was the one who had to clean it up. That was about it. And describe the path to, like, the actual, not path, but the skate, like, the flow of all the ramps. So you'd start here, right? You'd drive forward, and then there'll be a little kicker. Then you go across, keep going forward. And then there's a gap. So it's a kicker with a flow. So you go on that. And then there would be a little wavy thing like that. So you go on that. And then there was a massive kick that you could go in the air and then do something, whatever. And then you jump down. And then there was another flow one. And then there was another kicker with a, like, thing, because that was my favorite one to make. And then you go forward, and then around a tree I had a berm. So a berm is, like, imagine a pile of dirt, like a wave going around, like, in a half circle. That's what a berm is. And then you go around that because that helps you pick up speed. And then I dug, like, a wave thing, but this time it was in the ground. And then you'd come up, and there was a one about maybe half a human high, not a ramp. It was like a ramp up, and then you'd go down on it really quickly. It was about 4 or 5 feet in the ground that I had dug out, and it made kind of like a mega ramp, but it's not mega. And you'd go in, just like that, really steep. It was about maybe that steep, maybe a bit more. And you'd go down, about 5 feet into the ground, and then you'd come out on a big flick up like that. But it was kind of at that much of an angle, and you'll know why you needed that angle, because you had to go far. You didn't want height on this one, you had to go far, because right here there was about a 4 foot pond that I dug out. It's a big square pond, and it would fill with water from the rain, and it would just always be filled with water. So you jump over a big pond, and if you failed, no one ever did, you would end up in the water. And then you'd land into a little dugout, little, like, whatchamacallit, like landing. And then you'd come out, and then it would do a big circle. So it wasn't like a massive, massive park, but it was fun, and it was built by someone who does this, by someone who enjoyed it. It was basically tailored to what I love with BMXing. If I could, it would have had a lot of street elements to it, so I would have brought like rails and other stuff. But unfortunately, I was never able to do that because of the fact that it kept getting destroyed by those guys. And what my plan was, I wanted to have a little drop off that I carved into like stairs, but made out of dirt. Because have you seen that before? That would be pretty dope. You have stairs, and I was going to do maybe like a 5-8 stair, and you could go off on your bike and land, which I thought would be pretty dope. I would have enjoyed that. Oh, crud. Oh, that's a good word. Do you remember that one guy who tattooed crud on his forehead? And he tried to, because the radio station, they said, if you tattoo crud on your forehead, you get like 250,000 or whatever. And then they were like, oh, that was a joke, when he actually did it. Could you imagine walking around with crud on your head? Like, I honestly could imagine me with a little bit of crud, because I would have bangs. So like, imagine you could just see a bit of black, and then I reveal my forehead. No forehead reveal just yet. Although, guess what, guys? We have a video that's actually getting views. It has 36 views. Woo! Yeah, hey! It's not for me this time. It's the Swamp Ass Challenge. So congratulations to the Swamp Ass Challenge. You're officially getting views, and I don't know, I can't look at the analytics right now. I'm waiting to look at the analytics. Yeah, I'm proud of that. 36 views. I'm pretty happy with 36 views. That's pretty sick. I know YouTube is harder to get views than TikTok. I posted a TikTok yesterday because I was telling you how I keep getting TikToks that like no one's watching, no one's liking. This is gonna sound very unimpressive to a lot of you, but so last 2 videos I did, they only got 100 views, and it was really annoying. And then I posted a really good one yesterday that was like the Kaisenat timer thing. And that one people liked, like they genuinely did like, someone even reposted it. And people were finding it funny, but it only got 100 views, right? They weren't pushing it. And even though it could have been pushed, but they didn't trust me because the other 2 previous videos were really kind of flops. And that was because they were long form. And if you don't know, if something is long, most people obviously aren't going to watch the full thing. But because of that, it makes your retention look really bad, because to like TikTok, someone watching for half the video of a 2-minute one, even though that's a full minute, that looks like they only watched half the video. Whereas a 10-second one, if people just watch 5 seconds, that's still half, and that's the exact same as what the 2-minute one is. So a 10-minute one's super easy to watch. This one was 17 seconds. So it was still quite a bit, obviously, but the actual video itself wasn't super long, and it was pretty easy to watch. So most of the people made it about like, I think the average watch time was about 80% of the video. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's not too bad. The retention was really good. The rewatch was really good. Like, it was only a 17-second video, and it made it all the way up to like, there was only 100 people who looked at it, 100 separate people, and it made it all up to like an hour, I think. But yeah, pretty good. I'm happy with that. And then might have been more than an hour. I think it was an hour 50 of watch time. Anyway, so actual video that I made this morning that I'm telling you I'm proud of is I said that I dropped out of Harvard to go to Streamer University, and I put up like a certificate of like enrollment from Harvard in the background and an enrollment to Streamer University, and it did well. So it was 27 seconds. The watch time was really good on that one too. The likes, so I got 31 likes, which is the most I've gotten in a while. I did have one a while ago that was like a violin thing that got over 1,000, but that was like 3 years ago, I believe. So yeah, this one I'm proud of it. 31 likes. I'm not gonna complain. Imagine 31 people in a room with you. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then 31 all the way at the back. That's a lot of people. That's like a room full of people. And like, imagine you are performing to 31 people. I personally don't think I could. I have performed in front of people before, but that was years ago. Doesn't count. Yeah, 31 people is quite a bit of people. Like, imagine you got 31 people paid you $5. That's 50 times 3. Wait, 50. Yeah, 50 times 3. That would be 150 plus 5. $155. So, pretty good. I would have gotten $155 if each of them sent me $5. So, pretty good. I'm happy with that. I made $155 off that video. So yeah, 31 likes. I'm happy with it. It got about 700 views, and all of them pretty much watched. There wasn't really a single person who skipped past it. I think because it was meant to be like a hateable character. It was meant to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's an idiot. So it wasn't really meant to be something that would get a lot of likes. It was meant to be something that would get people's attention, which it did, because guess what? My profile views, insane. So many people looked at my profile, maybe checked it out. They might have even liked it a little bit. They might have enjoyed it. They might have found another video funny. They might see me again next time and they'll be like, I know this guy. This guy's that one funny guy. So, yeah, it was very obvious. Like, if you went onto my profile afterwards, you know I was never in Harvard. So I got a couple followers from it too, which I'm happy about. I got 4 comments, but one of those was from me. So one guy was like, or girl, whatever, they were like, don't tell me you actually left Harvard, or like something like that. And I was like, oh, you don't want me to follow my dreams? I'll take. And then they replied to it being like, no, follow your dreams, but you got to have a backup plan, which I found funny because they took it seriously. And then another guy was like, say on God you didn't drop out of Harvard. And yeah, I was going to make a video where I like respond to that and I go, yeah, I did drop out of Harvard, but I kind of feel uneasy about that because a lot of people believe in God, and if I say on God something that's not true, I personally, like, even though I don't believe in God, I feel that's a bit disrespectful. Do you agree? Leave in the comments. Do you agree that even if I don't believe in God, if I swear on God, is that disrespectful? I personally think it is. If someone said, oh, do you say on my mum? Like, not my mum, your mum. Like, if you say on your mum, like you. So, who I'm talking to right now, maybe your name's Caleb, maybe your name's Chelsea, maybe your name's anything. Your name could be anything. But your mum, so Kelsey, your mum, you want me to swear on your mum? Did I say Kelsey or Chelsea? Chelsea. Your mum. Her life is at risk if I lie and I say, yeah, on Chelsea's mum, of course. She is now at risk because of me. I feel that's disrespectful, even though it's not my own mum, even though I don't know Chelsea. Chelsea, who are you? Why are you watching my video? Yeah, I think that's a bit disrespectful. If you swear on my life right now, if you say a lie and you swear on my life, That's disrespectful in my opinion. Why would you lie and put it on me? On me? Now you're making me mad. So yeah, let me know your opinion on that. What's this white thing? Is that the light? Oh, this is light. Look, I can block it. I thought that was a bit of like cotton or something, but it's light. See? It's like a rave. It's like a little mini disco in there. It kind of does look like a lot of lights. So maybe there's a little disco going on in there. Hey! 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 Let's get some smoke machine in it. Woohoo! Oh, where'd the light go? The light's gone. Oh, there we go. Light's back. Oh, light's gone. Oh! Light's back! Hell yeah! We had a little rave in the party tonight. In the car tonight. Welcome back to the car. It's 20 minutes in. I might go for 30 minutes. I like the 30-minute videos. I think that's pretty good time. Let me tell you about life. Things aren't going well. I still can't go back to work. My supervisor messaged me. Usually it's only my manager, but my supervisor messaged me, asked me when I'm going to come back. Unfortunately, I need to get a doctor's note. Unfortunately, I haven't gone and got an ultrasound because I've never said I'm going to have to pay money. And I really just don't want to pay money because I can't afford it, to be honest with you. My mum mentioned the idea of payment plan. And then that went into my head. And then I said, I'm already in debt to Afterpay. And then I said, no, I can't do that. So, yeah, I'm not great with debt, you see. Afterpay, if you don't know what Afterpay is, it's basically free money, then you pay it back in 4 payments. And the thing with Afterpay is there's a really big issue with it, and I need to tell you what that is. It's because I got accepted to it. Why'd you accept me? I'm the worst person with that kind of stuff. Do not accept me to your Afterpay. Don't. Because guess what? I am going to use it on useless stuff. See, one of my big first purchases was a box of knives, right? One of those really cool ones that are made in Japan and they have dragons all on it. It was $500 for a full knife set. And you wouldn't believe it. I afterpaid it. I afterpaid the fucking box of knives. How important? Oh yeah, here's your thing. Single mothers use this so that way when they can't afford stuff, they're able to pay it back easier. Oh, thank you. Yep. I'm going to go buy a box of knives that I do not need because I want to. Oh, thank you, Afterpay. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Don't accept me. Don't accept me. ZipPay was smart enough to decline me. Thank you, ZipPay. I appreciate that. Forever in your favor. Latitude, they declined me. No hate. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're best. Because you know what Afterpay didn't. Afterpay accepted me and they were stupid. They were dumb. They had so much faith in me and I took it for granted. Or they took it for granted. Whoever took it for granted. Someone took it for granted. They took the granted out and they ran away with it. They accepted me and guess what? There's been a couple of times where I pay something and then guess what? I do not pay that shit back. I paid it back after a couple years. I paid it back after a year, I think. And the original thing only started out as a $50 purchase. So whether that's my fault, whether that's Afterpay's, we don't know. Because the only rule, or the only punishment they give you is you can't spend on Afterpay. Which is a pretty big punishment because I love spending on Afterpay. So the punishment is they will just block you from being able to use it. They don't get the police after you. They don't get these 2 massive guys to come to your door. They don't do that. But they do say, well, now you can't spend any more with us. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I just can't buy Afterpay. And that meant that I was missing out on life. So I went, I paid it off. I will admit I did pay it off. Woo. My nose just got running out of nowhere. That was a bit of a gross sniffle. It sounded like a big clog went up, but it wasn't a big clog. That was just a bit of running spit. That was a bit of running snot. It happens. Humans are humans. You can't say I'm gross for that. If you do, you aren't a human, and you're probably an alien. Kind of cool. Maybe go to a government facility. They'll help you out. Anyway, so the Afterpay situation. How did I get on the Afterpay situation? I got it somehow. Anyway, Afterpay is not good for me. We don't work. It's not me. It's you. Because you're addictive and it's really nice for me. It gives me so much dopamine because it feels like I'm getting like stuff for like a little percentage. And it's so nice. Anyway, so yeah, the doctor's thing. I'm nervous to pay for the ultrasound because they want me to get an ultrasound on my shoulder. Instead, I said, surely I can get some painkillers, correct? They gave me painkillers. So I took those and now I have painkillers. So I'm using those, trying to see how it feels with the painkillers. If it doesn't hurt, I'm just going to go back to the doctor, load up a few and pretend like it doesn't hurt me when they make me to throw my arm around and stuff. And I'll just be like, yeah, I'm all good to work now. And I won't tell the truth this time. I'm just going to lie. I'll take it on my back. If it gets hurt in the future, I'll just pretend it did not happen. And yeah, so that way I can go back to work and I can stop pissing everyone off for having 3 weeks off. And that's about it. I really, because you see, I shouldn't let you in on my full financials. They're a bit embarrassing. But I only need a certain amount of money to make up so I can leave my job. And let's just say this amount of money is pocket change for the middle class. Not even the middle class. This is pocket change for a lot of the lower class. Like, I'm not joking. Take it as you will. I do buy vapes and I do buy cigarettes. I do buy everything like a Middle Eastern. Yes! So let's just say I don't need a lot. So if YouTube does well, I get 1,000 subscribers. Genuinely, 1,000 subscribers could probably support me. Sad? Maybe. Good though, because I don't need high standards. Amazing, right? I only need to build up like 5 people who like me. And like me enough to maybe buy a Patreon, and I'm good. Like, genuinely great. I could maybe do like a $15 Patreon, 5 people support it, and I could leave. Embarrassing, I know. I'm being honest, though. Tell me what other YouTuber is going to tell you how little money they make. And actually be honest about it. I'm no Mr. Beast. It's like, technically, you have more money than me. When in reality, he's beating the system and able to afford anything he wants. But he just takes loans out. That's not me. The only loans I have is Afterpay, and the only money I make is very little. So, I'm not butthurt about that, though. I'm happy with it. I genuinely like how little I make, because, like, there's so often where I'll be, like, just thinking, and I'm like, someone will be complaining about money they make, and they're making, like, $2,000 a week. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not even getting, like, a quarter of that, and guess what? I'm happy. I very easily afford stuff. I can get stuff. I can pay for stuff. Life is great. I can pay my rent. Like, can you pay your rent? And I'm not even making a quarter. I think you're just bad with money. And I do think that, because so many of those people, they may have like really nice cars that they can't afford. And they're just spending so much money on that car that they cannot afford. Which is just sad to me, because you're putting yourself in a good life with that money, and then you just go and spend it on shit that you don't need. I have a nice little $3,000, $4,000 car. It gets me to where I want. It doesn't break down. Yes, the speedometer doesn't work. Boo-hoo. I can judge by the sound. Yes, the engine has a bit of failure in it. Everyone does. And yes, the airbags don't work. Who needs airbags? I've heard they're more dangerous for you. I heard they can break your ribs. I don't want an airbag in here. Get it out. That's the only stuff that's wrong with it, besides the fact that the plastic coverings keep falling off. But that doesn't matter, I can always pop it back in. The door fell off, like not the actual door, but the plastic covering for the door fell off a while ago, but I super glued it back on. The brake light keeps going in and out. I think there's a loose wire, so the brake light will sometimes pop up and say that it's not working. I go over a bump and it's working again. See, life is good to me in the sense that I don't really care about all that stuff. I enjoy the little things. This makes me feel closer to where I was as a kid. I liked getting the little cheap Kmart skateboards because guess what? They were cheap, so you could break them without really panicking that you just broke a $400 board, you know? Or anything. Like, it just makes me happy. I prefer the cheaper side of life. I think a lot of people's issues these days is they just want the expensive things. They want to be like I hear it so much where they're like, you might as well spend the extra $4,000 just so that way it doesn't break. Who cares? Things are meant to break. Life is meant to break. It happens. And guess what? If something breaks, you can learn how to fix it. There was one time I had to tape my skateboard together. Did it make me look like an idiot? Yes, it did. But did it make me resourceful? Yes, it did. So thank you for resourcefulness. I hope you guys clap with me, because if you're not, it's really dog shit what you're doing. Now, guess what? There was one time when my phone had broken and like the thing fell off the back of it. And I had an iPhone. Usually iPhones don't do that. It's only Androids. I was resourceful. Fixed it. There's a couple things like my HDMI cords, because I have to buy the cheap TVs. They bend. And they need to go in at a certain level. You tape it up. You're resourceful. Be resourceful. Anyway, it's about that time that I go. I love you, Rat Gang. Ooh. Oh. 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 Rat Gang for life, baby. Peace out. I love you. Stay true to yourself. Stay kind. Stay loyal. Stay fucking awesome. I gotta record another video after this. So, because I'm always 2 uploads ahead. 2 uploads ahead. So I have, when I post a video, I've already got 2 in my back pocket. So I gotta record this one. I have another one uploading in a couple hours. It's gonna be another car video. We talk about dates and ideas. Then I have another car park video after that. That's about, what did I speak about? I spoke about Jake Paul, Logan Paul, a bit of Stream University. I spoke about my relationship with my dad. And then in this one, I don't even know what to title this. I think I might title it discussing. I might do a bit of a goofier one for this one. I might try and find a goofy name, because this was a bit of a goofy video. It was all over the place. You never know what my titles are going to be. So whatever the title is, comment it down below. Comment the title for me so I know what it is. Thank you. I love you, Rat Gang. It took me a minute to say bye. That's how much I love you. I love you more than you love me. Peace out. Thank you.